What's up, guys? It's your girl Amberlay, aka China, and with me today I have two very beautiful guests. Thank you, ladies, for coming, Bri Woo and Louis V. It's not easy to speak upon this topic that we're about to speak upon, but I appreciate you, queens, for coming in with me and letting me get a little personal with you. So I chose my industry sisters because we are all successful in our own way. And I want these girls that are going through it or have been through it to see that it's so much better when you leave a toxic situation behind. You feel me? So I'm gonna start off with Bri. Introduce yourself. Tell them what you do. Tell them who you are.
Okay, so a few people may know me as Bri Woo. I definitely started off blogging about music. I started initially with Funk Flex and Flex We Trust, his music blog. From there, I pretty much did my own blog about female entrepreneurship, different things regarding ownership and businesses, with females, and I'm very big on that, female empowerment. So this topic especially is important because if you have a goal or if you're in school, working, whatever you're doing, a toxic relationship can take you away from that. So pretty much that's just what I'm about, and I want to make this, topic very prevalent and make sure everyone knows that you got to lead that.
Exactly. Passing on the mic to Louis V.
People know me by Louis V, but my name is Miss V. I started off party promoting when I was a kid. I was a dancing ass nigga. Shout out to CTE. Then I started artist developing, blogging for Where's the Wave. Shout out to them. Now I'm in position where I work with Strag Records. Shout out to Dougie F and Yellow Do Rag. Now my mindset is kind of just to bring up the underground and give them the plugs that they need, which is why a lot of people call me the plug. And this topic is important because a lot of people will come to me and say, you're a female, but you're always busy working and you have no time for a personal life. But I do, but you still have to make room to be a boss and have business is business.
Exactly. Personal life comes later. So we're going to get into this. And if there's tears flowing, it's okay. We got tissues in the other room, so I'm going to grab them for y'all. But how it started. With me, I was in a relationship for 2.5 years with this guy. The first year was okay, but you could just tell that there was something off. I was in school at the time. I had internships at the time. Of course, it didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. The first time it happened, we were in a car and someone messaged me on Facebook, and it was just like, hey, how are you doing, sweetie? And it was harmless. And with the way I talk, I call everyone sweetie, honey, boo. That's just how I talk because I look like a bitch. So if I don't say that, people are just like, are you trying to be rude? Or it's just like, no, I'm saying this, but I'm just very aggressive. So he saw that and he flipped out. I was just like, yo, it's honestly business. He asked me to write for him and I never got a chance to. This dude ended up choking the shit out of me, punching me in my head, busting my lip, a whole bunch of shit. And then he got out the car and he tried to come to my side and drag me out the car. I locked the doors and I ran away so fast. I drove to my best friend's house crying. There's water all over me because he spilled sweet tea on top of me. It was bad. He spit in my face after he poured the sweet tea on me, and I was just like, yo, it was bad. And they wanted me to report it to the police and I didn't. Stupid me, I didn't, and I never did because a part of me, when you're in love, you feel bad. I felt bad, okay, what's gonna happen to him? Is he gonna end up in jail? I don't want him to be in jail. I love him, blah, blah, blah. That's not love. So he was okay, I guess, for a couple months. Then, it started again. It wasn't anything too bad. And I know that I shouldn't be saying too bad, but I'm putting myself in that position. I was literally telling myself, oh, he didn't mean it. He's going to stop. We're going to get counseling for him. I'm going to ride out with him because I love him. No, it got worse. It got to the point where there's a permanent dent in my leg now from him. I have back problems from him punching me in my back. He broke my ribs, both sides of my ribs. I was in the hospital. I had to be on painkillers for, I believe it was 5 weeks. I was on Percocets. And even when my ribs were broken, he was still beating on me. That's how evil these men are, they don't care. And it's if you feel like he cares, if a man cares about you, he'll walk away from you before he puts his hands on you. You feel me? So that's a little bit of mine. I'm gonna go around the room and we can share our stories, share our experiences, and then we're going to speak upon it. And we'll take it from there.
Okay.
So Bri?
You pass on to me.
Yes.
There basically was, like you said in the beginning, very, normal. In my case, it was a young relationship at first, and then it began to progress into, like the more, not adult years, but you're leaving high school and you're starting to mature a little bit. So real issues start to come into play, such as, cheating and things like that. Yeah. In most cases, the way you handle it is, okay, either I'm going to take you back or I'm not. In this case, it was more so constantly bringing it up again, arguments, just reliving certain things in the past. And instead of talking about it or walking away, it would be physical altercations. So, just not being able to trust me and, looking through my phone and then assuming that a certain comment or message meant more than what it did, that would turn into pushing me down the stairs, or it was a lot. Like what you said, it kept transitioning into more and more. Punching holes in the wall or mushing you in the face, different things like that. It was just a really toxic situation. And then it became less tolerable, and more people began to see it. So now it's like, now people are saying, you know what, I see that this isn't a healthy situation. Why are you still here? And then you have to ask yourself, why am I still here? And then I think in some cases females are, like you said, scared to tell the police because of what might happen. Or they're so used to that situation, they're like, I can't see myself with nobody else. Maybe somebody else would do the same thing to me. I might as well just stay here. Like, those are some of the thoughts that began to, cross my mind. So after a while, it just got to a point where I said, you know what, I deserve better. I'm not about to, sit here and wait for more bruises to come. And at that point, that's when, if your parents start to know about it and they start to get involved, it's an issue. Nobody wants to see their child hurt. So that was my whole thing. It went from I want to say maybe 2 years of the relationship to a 5-year relationship, beginning to just get more and more toxic over time. So no, that was the last straw.
No. We're gonna talk about when we decided to leave in a second. Passing on the mic to Louis V.
So mine was very similar to Bri Woo. It was like between my transition years from high school to college. So I was in a relationship with this guy in total of 2.5 years. It started off probably 8 months into our relationship. He cheated first, actually. I didn't find out until the 10th month, so it was 2 months until I found out. Then he basically came to me. It was more like a guilty conscience, like, oh, I did you wrong, so you're going to do me wrong. Then I started promoting, and he was like, oh, this is a loophole for you guys to talk to boys. Because in high school, I was very quiet. College, I started branching out, like, let me party promote, let me do this with artists and stuff like that. So he's like, oh, you just want to do this, you want to be in this street team to do this. And I'm like, I'm not you. Just because I forgave you doesn't mean anything. And that's when jealousy became a very big issue. Like, when I first found out about the cheating, I had left his house, and he actually followed me outside. So he's like, oh, you're not going to leave? I'm like, yes, I will. I have to leave. Like, I'm not going to stay here crying in front of you. Don't want to be weak in front of you. So it went from following me home to, like, being outside, just wondering what I was doing in my house in my own time. So I was like, like, now you're becoming
scary.
Stalker.
Yeah,
like,
scary.
Exactly. So when I would spend time with him, he would basically be like, oh, you're doing this because of this, grab my phone, want to go through stuff, start hitting me. And I'm like, you can't have a guilty conscience through everything. I'm thinking in my head, oh, we're young, we're becoming adults, so let me build with you, let me grow with you.
Exactly.
Let me fix it, instead of just running away and telling other people. Then my family started finding out, so I started coming home with probably like bruises, red marks on my face, scars on my face. So my mom's like, did you get into a fight? Did you do this? And I was like, no. And regular, like, you're a teenager, so fights do happen.
Exactly. So it's like, whatever.
She was just like, she's like, no, I'm concerned. So that's when they started getting concerned, and it just so happened to be every single time I was with him, I would come home like that. So
it was to the point where my parents kicked me out the house, and my dumbass was just like, oh, you know what? I got a new car. He ended up leaving his house because his parents, not his parents, but his aunt wasn't really fond of me. And it was like a race thing, whatever. So we ended up sleeping in a car for a year. So a year of our relationship, we were in a car. So I found out that he was cheating on me. Mind you, I went above and beyond for this man. When he got locked up for some stupid stuff, and I went through his phone. Now, while I'm sleeping in the back of a car in the parking lot of your job at freaking 12 o'clock midnight, freezing cold, you have bitches coming to the job and you're fucking them. That's why you think when I'm at work that I'm fucking whoever I'm fucking, and it's just like, no, boo-boo, like, I don't do that. So when I found out, it was a whole bunch of them. And it's just like, I'm living in a car with you, you're beating on me, you're taking my money, and you're cheating on me? Oh, nah. Dumbass again. We got an apartment together. Yeah, we got an apartment together. I forgot what the frick happened. I remember he got so mad at me. Like, he puts me in the room where it's freezing cold and I have nothing but a t-shirt on. He opens up all the windows, make sure I'm cold, no blankets, no nothing. Come back, punch me whenever he wants to. I was scared to leave. There was one time, it was New Year's. He got so mad about something. It was because when I found out he played me, I was just like, oh, nah. Like, so I started talking to other guys before we, got back together. He got so mad to the point because he kept thinking about it. Or he would see something on TV about a girl cheating on the dude.
It would be a trigger.
Yeah, a trigger. He threw me out the house, freezing cold, winter time, nothing but a t-shirt. Came out and got me when I was walking up the stairs. He kept punching my back, so now, like, I have, like, shit wrong with my back. But I thought it was going to get better. Like, maybe he's just mad because we're living in a car and we're homeless. No, like, he got mad because he's insecure. And that's what girls fail to realize. It has nothing to do with you.
Exactly.
It's because he can't amount to the man that you want to be with. And he will never amount to that, especially if you're that insecure, you're going to put hands on me. You're that insecure, you're going to cheat on me. Like, while I'm out here riding out for you, like, everything was half and half. I gave you all the money I had to do whatever you need to do, and this is what you do to me. Mm-hmm. I took a while to just sit there and just, all right, let me rebuild myself. Let me get my job in order. Let me get my career. Let me get school done with. Let me, do this. Mm-hmm. And then even now, I really feel like I'm kind of not ready to date because those thoughts are still in my head as to all the wrong that has been done to me. And let me be so loyal to someone and turn around and have nothing again. Like, I'm not beat for that. So but you guys are in, like, very beautiful relationships. I know that you are because I see. Bri started revealing her man by body part. First I saw an arm. I'm just like, she about to reveal him. She's about to reveal him.
No, the guys on my podcast said the same thing. They was like, you really did it in increments. Yes. Like, first I saw a head, then I saw an arm. No, but that's what it was. I was dating at the time.
Exactly.
Like, I was, that's basically to answer your question. Yeah. That's what my process was. Like, after the relationship, I was like, I was still talking to, my boyfriend now, but I was still going out to eat and seeing different personalities because I never had the chance to do that. Like, I was in a relationship for so long.
Yes.
So when I got to see different personalities, I'm like, okay, that's what I like, that's what I don't like.
Yep.
And doing it by yourself, I never realized you can actually go out to eat by yourself. You can get a drink by yourself.
Go to the movies by yourself. Go shopping by yourself.
Like, really enjoy my own company. So once I did that, I was like, okay, this is cool.
Exactly.
And if somebody want to add to that, that's fine.
Add to it, as in add happiness and add strength and add growth. Don't sit there and add bullshit when I'm at peace.
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't do that. Because now I'm going to cut you off real fucking quick.
Just like you have to be a man's piece.
Yeah,
you have to be a woman's piece as well.
You have to be my piece too. I go through shit too, boo-boo. Like, When did you realize you wanted to date again?
To be honest, I think we all had to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I had to take me time, figure out what I don't like, figure out what I wanted in a man, what I didn't want in a man, what I wanted for myself and what I didn't want for myself. And that's when I was dating a couple, and then they just came and go. And I was just like, okay.
Let me clarify dating real quick because a lot of them are just like, y'all were juggling mad dudes. No, dating is when you are not with someone and you're going out on dates and trying to figure out that person, getting to know that person. That is dating.
Exactly. Like, I spent time on
a lot of people just say, oh, y'all was dating multiple men. We're not fucking multiple men.
Exactly.
Like, that's not what that is. It's literally getting to know you and choosing who I want to spend my time with. And that's what I had to do too. Like,
you had to dig the vibes.
Yeah,
some
like,
kind of vibes would fit with you.
Your vibe has to be so dope that it's just like, I don't want nobody else. I
Exactly.
don't. I want you. My attention is on you now. So the free time that I have is going to be either for me or for you. And that's it. It's no more just going around and just talking to random people. No, you got to find that person that makes you feel like I'm comfortable when I'm with him. I like being around him. He makes me feel good. He makes me feel wanted. And a lot of girls fail to realize that if he doesn't make you feel wanted and he turns around and tells you you're too skinny, you don't have an ass, you ain't got no titties, you're not pretty enough. Oh, you know how many bitches want me? That's not the one for you.
Exactly.
That is not, because all he's doing is tearing you down. And then he makes you feel like nobody else wants you because you start believing that you're ugly, that you're too skinny, that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough. Like, no, that's that bullshit that you got to cut out of your life. And I know that you're I don't know who your man is. And she's low with it.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I'm talking to someone, no one knows who I'm talking to. That's fine. But with you guys have been strong for a while.
Yeah, we make a year on the 13th.
Hey.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, 13. Let me sound confident about that. No, but yeah, it's crazy because even with that, like you were saying, just being called beautiful and gorgeous and receiving like messages throughout the day, never got that. Like even now, he'd be like, "Why aren't you used to being called beautiful?" I'm like, "Because like who does that?" Exactly. Yeah, he's like, "No, like that is really something you should be told constantly." And I'm like, "Wow, I never thought about that." Even if it's just me calling myself that, waking up like. I never had that happen. Never was that confident. So it definitely helps.
And now the confidence is through the roof. Everyone in this room, our confidence is up there, but we're humble with it, which is what I love about the two of you. And along with like K Simone and Winnie also, like they're very, and Casey, they're very
Casey,
confident women. And I love that. Bri the blogger, it's just speak your mind. And it's okay if people disagree with me, but don't disrespect me when you're disagreeing with me. We can agree to disagree, you know?
Exactly.
And that's all it's about. When you leave that situation, you end up loving yourself more, and you're just like, I like spending time by myself. I like spending time with my friends. I miss my family. I like working on me. And that's all it is now. Even though like some of us in relationships, some of us aren't, you're still working on yourself at the end of the day. And if he is not your king, that's going to be your piece and that's going to be your business partner, what are you here for? Like,
Exactly.
that's my standards now. Like, what are you here for?
I feel like you just have to benefit. Like, well, yeah, it's a give and take.
Exactly. Like, I don't need no leech in my life. I have enough of those that I done already cut off. I don't need you to be another one, especially if you're going to be right by my side and you're supposed to be my king sitting right next to me on the throne. Like, nah. Because behind every strong man is a strong woman. And that's all facts.
Yeah.
It's all facts, just like with a queen. I know we like to preach women empowerment, and that's a beautiful thing because I completely agree with it. But two heads is better than one.
Yeah,
at the end of the
that's
day,
true.
you know. So if you're building an empire, you got to be careful who you build it with. That's why I always say, like, when I'm married, I want to sign a prenup.
You want to sign one?
Hell yeah, yeah. My husband is signing a prenup. I did not work this
can
hard.
see why.
Yeah, I did not work this hard and work on myself, convince myself to love myself and be confident again. For you to be like, oh, she's prettier than you. Yeah, that's new pussy. I want that. Give me 50. Bro, what? No, you
this
can
is
go.
my money.
Yeah, this is my money.
Yeah,
You keep
you
yours.
build. You
Yeah,
have to, though.
yeah.
You have to.
And you shouldn't feel no type of way about that because y'all both should have money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You guys are supposed to be on the same level. If not, then help each other level up. That's just
true.
how I feel about it. What advice would you give to the women that are in the situation now that are having a hard time leaving or have already left and they don't know where to start?
Okay. I would just honestly, if I had to make a short list, but an effective list, I would say don't be afraid to put yourself first. I know it sounds cliche, but you have to really understand what that means. Like, down the line, when you have kids, you know, you want them to recognize you for your strength and the things that you have overcome. So, you know, God forbid your daughter's in that situation, what advice can she get from you, you know? So put yourself first and always know that there's someone out there for you. Like, I remember even, you know, I'm with them all the time. My podcast, like, I would tell them, I have an ideal guy in mind, and I'm gonna get him. I'm not gonna settle.
Exactly.
So know that person's out there for you, and even if it's just as simple as if I'm driving all the way to you and I'm like low on gas, put gas in my car.
Mm-hmm.
Give me money for lunch during the week because you know, hey, I know payday not coming up.
Just cute little shit,
things like that, and I would make that in my list of what I want in a guy, and lo and behold, I got it. Like you have to, whatever your faith is, pray on it, meditate on it. Not that you need someone, but just when that time comes, God, prepare me.
Exactly.
Make sure that I'm accepting and that I'm not pouring all of my baggage onto him. It's going to take time, and you're going to be very afraid at first. Like, what if you do to me what the last guy did to me? Don't think like that.
That's really my problem now.
That's the thing. I did that a lot. Like, I would just leave the date early or just be like, it's getting too comfortable. I can't do it. Don't be afraid. Like, really take the time to accept it and let it happen, because God makes no mistakes. If he's for you right now, he'll
be there. Yeah, he'll be there. Any advice you have for the ladies?
And to that last part, if God puts you in your life and that person leaves, just let him leave. Don't chase after.
Just let him leave. Yeah, don't chase.
Exactly. I won't say relationships are 50-50. I always say it's 100-100.
Yes.
So you have to give 100% of you, and he has to give 100%. You may be scared to trust, but he may be scared to open up. Like, you're going to have to build with that person.
Exactly.
So if you're going through the situation or you just got out of the situation, I would say take time to yourself, of course. And for me, writing always helps.
Yes.
So write everything down. Write your plans, your goals, what you want to achieve in life, what you don't want, and what you would look for in the next guy and stuff like that. Because that's one thing about females. They always put emotions first. You never
do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't
that.
Don't
ever do that.
Education and money and logic all first
Even
before
though
your
it
emotions.
sounds so like ritual.
It's
like
hard to
your
do
parents
though.
would say that to you.
As women, that's hard for us to do because we're so, when we see what we want, it's just like, I want that. Just like you want a new bag, I want that. I'm gonna work my ass off to get that. It's possible, yes, but just make sure he's working just as hard as you to get to you.
Exactly.
Make sure he's trying to build with you also, and that's not just a one-sided thing.
Know your worth.
Yeah, know your worth. Know that you're beautiful. He doesn't have to tell you that you're beautiful, although he should. But know that yourself without anyone telling you. You know?
And another piece, just to add on to that, don't take advice from everybody.
Yeah.
Even if you're in a relationship, just don't. If you wouldn't take advice from a single person and you're in a relationship, don't take advice from someone who hasn't been in your shoes.
Yes.
Like, if I was still going through this at the time, I would come to you and ask you, like, how did you overcome this? Because you've been through this.
Exactly.
Your friends who've never had a hand been raised to them, they can easily say, just leave. No, that's not
what you're feeling at that moment.
Like, yeah.
And it's not that easy. That's what they don't understand. Sometimes you have to create a plan, a strategy. Like, it's a lot of stuff that goes with that. So.
Exactly. Sometimes you have to create a plan, and sometimes once that voice in your head says, get the fuck out now, you gotta get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Because then now you're compromising your own sanity.
It's not always good to listen to your heart.
Some people want to be a savage when it comes to like building, their network and building their worth. That kind of savage I agree with, and I agree with the other kind too, to a certain extent. And then there's some people that's just like, I am tired of the motherfucking games, so we're gonna sit down and talk, and either you're fucking with me or you're not. And if you're fucking with multiple people, let me know. It's all about keeping it real. Let me know so that way I don't put all my eggs into one basket and end up with nothing. So there's different types of people that handle situations differently. But you gotta know who you're dealing with and how he or she wants to deal with things. Like, if they don't like to argue, obviously don't come up to them and scream at them. Like, some of my other friends, they're very hot-tempered. So they would go up to their man and probably, scream, and it'll be a screaming match. Some people don't like that. Some people, it's just like, all right, babe, I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna figure this out. And that's that. So you can't always listen to everyone, because not everyone has the same.
Everybody has different personalities.
Yeah, different
you don't
personalities.
know what's on your plate. Exactly.
Different intentions, different personalities, and everyone goes through something. And that's what I would have never guessed that Bri went through this. I would have never guessed that you went through this. Y'all would have never guessed that I went through this. But that's why we tell our stories, because there are girls out there. It's just like, oh, only weak women go through it. Men are just like, oh, you're stupid if you stay. No, it was a point in time. It was a learning process, and I feel like everything happens for a reason. And now we speak out against it because we don't want that to happen to the next person. You know?
Exactly.
And some people don't understand that. So why do you keep bringing it up? It's acknowledging it. It's acknowledging what made me. Because I'm stronger than ever. Now it's just like nothing's gonna break me. I don't care how hard I fall. I'm gonna get up. And that all came from this. You know, it all came from being broken so many times by one person. And now it's just like, can't nobody break me because I've learned to love myself. So who are you to try to pull me down with you? You know? Had to get that out.
No, but it's good. It really is good to get that out because now females can look at that and really identify.
Yeah,
like,
identify
hey.
with it.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you ladies for coming here and speaking out against it with me. I appreciate that a lot because I know that it was, you know, sometimes we don't want to put our business out there because we don't want people to see us vulnerable or that we were vulnerable at one point in time. But I feel like this is good. This is where you can admit and accept that has happened and you moved on. And so it's an example for other ladies out there that are going through it that should know it's okay. It's all right to move on. It's better if you do move on. And surround yourself with loving people, like friends, family, people that care about you and that are going to build you up, and work on yourself because that's where all the confidence comes from. When you're making career moves, you just feel that ambition. You're just like, yeah, this is what I'm high on. I'm high off life. So I really want to thank you girls for coming. I really appreciate it. I'm glad y'all are here. I think this was a dope segment and y'all definitely added so much more dopeness to it.